the upper semis just got ready for us as well. We'll dive into that right after this one.
We shall, and real quick, I just saw this. Thank you very much, Cham, for the host. Welcome everybody from that stream. Coming down.
Oh, wow, yeah. I apologize, I didn't see that notification. But yeah, thank you so much, Cham. We appreciate it.
I'm hoping that Korea, like you're acclimating a bit better to Korea at this point. That's right, he's in our time zone. Oh, I love it. Like, anyway, regardless, we are going to be kicking off our first semifinals here on Oxide LE. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We have the pink Protoss player coming down from the land of Sydney Aba. He is going to be representing us, the Cranky Ducklings. Everybody get your trucks ready. He is the Duck of the Stars. He's our little duck boy. He is StarDuck.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the best Protoss player in all of Southeast Asia. He, of course, made it to the top 4 of DreamHack Summer Oceania. He's representing Mate Hexa. It is Ranger.
Real quick, like, we're just being updated. Bwisk can't compete because he's too busy dating Revenant.
Hold on. Everyone in the chat, exclamation mark, Funada Revenants, because mate, when are you gonna sign up for GPO?
He's too busy dating Bwisk, like, come on.
What do you mean? They're a power couple. They can sign up together.
They should.
God damn it, Revenant. Don't think I didn't see you sign up for the DreamHack qualifiers, by the way. I saw you. I saw you in the bracket.
Shaking my head. But yeah, it's definitely great to be back in a matchup that I think we understand a lot more, right?
Oh yeah, we're all about this.
And already, it's starting to get a lot more familiar for me.
Exactly. We say this every time, but of course, because we are on Oxide, it is a map where these players can be a little bit more economic because it's so much easier to defend. Both players did go for their low ground or their natural walls.
Yeah, definitely a lot tougher pushing up that ramp. And it's kind of the best of both worlds. You can be a little bit more economic, but at the same time, you're definitely very, very safe. Oh, not if you leave your hole open that wide and allow a cell to come in like that, StarDuck.
Yeah, there was a really awkward timing there. Meanwhile, StarDuck did go across the map with his own Zeld as well, so we have a bit of a weird scenario where both pylons are a little bit under threat here. Oh my god.
Yeah, StarDuck should definitely be fine here. Ranger himself is getting a stalker out. Does see the chrono. Actually, hold up. I'm shaking my head like I'm shaking my head so hard.
The pylon has gone down for both players. And really, this shows us how equal in skill both of these guys are. Right now, they've both lost 2 workers as well. It looks like StarDuck should clean this up. This shield battery really putting in some work, keeping all these probes alive. Likewise for Ranger.
Right? Yeah, or at least mirrors when it comes to damage that's been dealt. In terms of builds, they are very, very different. Ranger, unfortunately, kind of making a little indecisive here.
Yeah.
Cross the map with the Oracle, but I wanted to bring it back to deal with the Adept. Should commit it either way.
Exactly. Meanwhile, at the same time, Ranger also throws down a pylon across the map so he can help reinforce as well, just to be that much more aggressive. Because there is a shield battery in the main base, this Oracle shouldn't deal too much damage unless he goes for a stasis. Oh, never mind.
Stasis, Ranger, stasis, Ranger. He's just tickling the probes, giving them a bit of a massage. Wait! That's a little overkill, StarDuck, in my opinion.
A little bit.
In my humble opinion.
Meanwhile, Ranger was actually losing a couple of more workers there across the map. Oh, but this time the Oracle gets to the natural. There wasn't anything here, so he gets another kill.
I love PvP. So what?
Meanwhile, we have a proxy Twilight Council at the third base of StarDuck. I thought this was gonna be for a gateway.
And he's coming back. He's coming back with the Dark Shrine. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it.
Why would you okay, so there were a couple of reasons, right? StarDuck was in the main base of Ranger for the longest time, so it was kind of risky for Ranger to throw down his tech here at home, especially if he wants to hide it, and there's the Dark Shrine.
There we go. Unfortunately, StarDuck doesn't quite have much protection for now. He is going to need Robo Facility. I'm hoping he prioritizes an Observer first and doesn't go straight Immortals, something like that.
This is worrisome because again, StarDuck, he doesn't have a reason to check his third base. Like, this is ingenious, to be honest, right? It's so close, yet so far. Oh my! StarDuck, he's taking a third.
No, I don't think it's within vision. I don't think maybe the gateway.
It's not.
It's not within vision. Just move your probe a couple pixels south.
Poppy,
move your probe a couple pixels south.
Oh my god.
Meanwhile, the Blink Stalkers are doing a tremendous amount of damage over here.
Oh my god.
I don't believe that shield battery is quite in range. It doesn't matter anyway, because there are enough Stalkers here to start one-shotting the forces of Ranger. Or two-shotting, actually, just barely.
Yeah, exactly. StarDuck is dealing a lot of damage. The Dark Shrine is still not done. Meanwhile, StarDuck, he has scattered this, he knows.
And he should be getting an Observer out, right?
Well, he doesn't. Right, he doesn't have a rope. Oh no, he does. He does have a rope, but he needs an Observer ASAP. He hasn't seen the Dark Shrine. He has only seen the Twilight Council. But I guess you can assume what's happening, right? It's on the way.
I'm not sure if you can. There we go. Oh, okay. Thankfully, it was at the back of his mind. He was able to get the Observer out and started doing a lot more damage to Ranger and vice versa with the Stalkers. 10 probes, 11 of them already going down. Ranger's all in. Ranger's all out. GG. StarDuck takes game number 1. I am gonna need weeks to process that game, Light. That was one of the wildest PvPs I've seen in a while.
GG. I think the only way this could have been wilder is if Beastork was involved.
Yes. If Beastork was coaching. No, if Beastork was coaching one of them and Patience was coaching the other.
Oh my god, GG, well played.
I missed this. I'm so glad my school break is starting.
I didn't even know if I should congratulate StarDuck because that was so chaotic. That was so even for the longest time as well, like as we saw, and Ranger, he risked a lot going for that proxy across the map, and it almost worked out for him. Unfortunately, he wasn't expecting StarDuck to expand. Right? He's like, what? He's taking a third? What's happening right now? And because of that, the probe did eventually catch a glimpse of the proxy.
That he did, give him a lot more time. This could have been even wilder, honestly. This could have been a full-on base trade with no detection on the side of StarDuck. I don't think Ranger had enough to throw down some Nexuses if it came to that, but still. I kind of want that to happen now.
Exactly. Oh god. GG. Well played. Yeah, getting into game number 2. Also, I did see that a couple of people were asking about Ender's matches and when we would cast him. Of course, both semifinals will be casted. We will get around to casting Ender versus Go-Go Joey after this series.
We do have a PvZ finals confirmed here, Light, but more importantly, Ender versus Go-Go Joey. I wish that was a best of 5. The two most... We've seen a lot of Go-Go Joey versus Mio Micah, obviously, and that kind of gives us a bit of that Zerk Mutant Triangle fix, but honestly, Ender is such a unique player. It's not even similar to Mio Micah in that regard, but regardless... We're going to be continuing our best of 3 semifinals here on Blackburn LE. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We have the pink Protoss player coming down from the land of Sitniaba. He is going to be representing us, our very own Cranky Duckling coming in here. The only Cranky Duckling remaining. Let's go to the final, StarDuck. He is... Oh, right, I just revealed the name. StarDuck.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of, for the very first time today, Blackburn LE, we have the Malaysian Protoss. He's blue, representing teammate Hexa, the best Protoss in all of Southeast Asia. It is Ranger.
And we're going from one low ground wall map to another.
And again, I'm also surprised. Blackburn, we're here. Like, it's great to see players take initiative like this.
Definitely is. I suppose that I have to wonder if this was going to be what we saw in game number 2 if we did the losers pick system this week. But again, we are switching things up a little bit today.
Yeah, for those wondering, now we have changed the format. We actually didn't go into specifics at the beginning of the broadcast, but yes, we do have a veto system now instead of losers pick. On top of that, we also have proper seeding for the tournament as well. Players are seeded on their performance in GPO over the past year.
There we go. So me and Micah just gets a buy-in every single week then.
I thought something that was interesting. Obviously, me, Micah, and Gogo Joey are 1 and 2. Would you hazard a guess at who is number 3?
So it's based on the last year.
Yes.
Okay, if this was based on the entire time GPO happened, I would definitely say Demi. But if we're going from the past year, I think it's a Protoss player, but I'm not sure if it's StarDuck, who we're looking at right now, or Beastork, who didn't sign up today.
This goes to show, like, obviously we've been casting this for the past year. They are number 3 and number 4. Beastork number 4, StarDuck number 3.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm honestly shocked I got that right. Is this how it feels like to guess correctly? Is this what it feels like to think? To use your brain?
My brain is expanding right now. I use my deductive capabilities.
I can join Max Angel now as a fellow detective.
But yes, StarDuck is seeded as number 3 out of every single player in Southeast Asia and Oceania, at least those who compete in our events.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he unfortunately has run into the walls that are Gogo Joey and Mio Micah, which again, they are number 1 and 2 when it comes to Grand Platypus Open. But yeah, he's been very cool to see StarDuck go from somebody who was, more of a casual-ish kind of sign up to more of somebody who now he's making it to, now he's winning his first match every week. Now he's in the semifinals every week. Unfortunately, a lot of times he does face Micah or Gogo Joey in those semifinals, but yeah, definitely this week at least, and there were quite a number of times. It's got a lot of potential to make it to those finals.
Exactly. StarDuck, he does consistently make it to the semis. I think there's a little bit of, that's like the difference between him and Beastork, is that Beastork, we have seen him take series before off of someone like me or Micah. StarDuck, not as much. Meanwhile, StarDuck being a little bit cheeky here, but Ranger immediately scouts it. He
knows all about them gold bases.
Oh god, that he does. As there we go. Yeah, Ranger, he does immediately go and respond to take out this pylon. Oh, StarDuck, he's gonna end up losing the slow. Oh, never mind. Oh my god.
None of the Phoenixes have anything to say about that one, Light. Forces a recall, which is so awkward to see when they're flailing about in the air, but at least Ranger keeps him alive, and at least StarDuck is able to have that reinforcement point.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk about it, but StarDuck did go for a Stargate opener. He's been pumping out nothing but Phoenixes. He's across the map. He's looking to try and push his way into the natural.
And he should have just about enough supply to brute force his way through. Unfortunately, only one very, very exposed shield battery. And Ranger only now is able to remake them. If he depowers these gateways, Light, then that's Ranger out of production.
That's it. That's all the production that Ranger has right now. We have a shield battery on the way, but we do not have another pylon on the way, as every single Stalker will go down. Only 2 Stalkers remaining here, and StarDuck, he is busting his way through into the natural.
And what can Ranger do from this point, even if he pulls the boys? I don't see them getting much done. Thankfully, the gateways were... Never mind. The gateways were repowered, now they're unpowered again. One Immortal is coming out. What is one Immortal without any kiting gonna do, Light?
Exactly. The problem is that this Immortal is gonna pop out and it's just gonna get CC'd. It's just gonna get picked up by these Stalkers.
Just like so, Ranger getting so desperate, he started to pull the boys. And yeah, as you said, StarDuck definitely has more than enough Phoenixes to spare. Just live. Oh, I don't think he has energy though.
He does not have energy. We have a couple more Stalkers showing up here from StarDuck, but they were a little bit too slow. The reinforcements were not fast enough. The reinforcement point was too far away, and Ranger does hold on to his natural.
Mate, if only he could lift that immortal.
If only, mate. He was so close, but StarDuck does get pushed away, and because he had so many resources banked up, mate, just expand, take a third.
Yeah. And he can take 2/3 at this point.
He could.
I guess that just means he can take a 4th. 2/3 to something different.
God damn it, Yaku. But I'm a little bit concerned because Ranger's ahead in tech, right? Like, he has an immortal, he has a blink on his stalkers. StarDuck has vanilla stalkers and phoenixes. That's all he has to work with. Oh, yeah, the immortal!
Phoenixes are going to do too much done. Get too much done against those Phoenix stalkers, but yes, the immortal unfortunately was pathed in different path. Did get taken out and
yeah. Well, he was pathed in a different path. Yes, it was not his path, mate. And we do see Ranger. He's actually he's looking to blink into the main base. He does, and he actually completely avoids Ranger's army.
He does, and as we said, StarDuck doesn't quite have blink on those stalkers. It's gonna take a while for them to make it back into his main base. Ranger being very cautious, which he doesn't really need to be, but I guess it's good to see.
Yeah, I mean, he can just play around with StarDuck at this point, right? He forces everything into the main base. He can just blink down to the third, and then StarDuck has to go all the way back around to the third, and then Ranger can blink into the main. Like, StarDuck is just having such a hard time keeping up with these blink stalkers.
Yeah, StarDuck has had that third base for a while, but he hasn't been able to mine from it just because of the threat that Ranger is posing right now. Meanwhile, Ranger back at home, he already finished up his own third. He's starting to saturate a little bit, I'm assuming anyway. He should be if he isn't. He
is. There are probes there in position. Meanwhile, StarDuck is starting to pick off a couple of these stalkers with the help of these phoenixes to help CC them, keep them in place. But if StarDuck isn't careful, like, his third base is under threat.
It is. Ranger might be able to just pick it off and maybe recall beyond that, but he, again, doesn't want to overstay his welcome.
Mate, that Phoenix should be dead. Like, it's got 2 HP. It's good. I can't believe that it's alive right now, and
got a guardian angel.
Exactly, and StarDuck, Ranger +1 is done. He has a mass amount of stalkers here, and I don't know if StarDuck has enough.
Yeah, he has enough to survive. These Zealots are doing a very good job of buffering for the stalkers that he actually has, but at the same time, Ranger's just kiting. He's just blinking back whenever he needs to. Finally, StarDuck starts his own blink, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Oh god, it took him so long. Like, StarDuck has been backing up so much, he could have started that long ago. We do have a shield battery on the way, and overcharge will be available once it finishes up, but we'll see if StarDuck can survive that long.
That we shall. Primitive Observer, no Observer actually lives, but it doesn't matter in the end. Ranger doesn't have anything that requires detection, and he's got a lot more army supply.
That he does, but you know what? The shield battery actually finished. Overcharge is available, and somehow StarDuck was able to hold. He lost a lot of workers, but he's not too far behind.
That he's not, yeah. He can potentially try to out macro Ranger here if he really gets his chrono boost on point, but we'll see. Ranger just now starting up that gold base expansion, even blocking the gold base of StarDuck.
Yeah.
Or any bases, jeez.
Yeah, pylons are being thrown down all over the place, mate. I feel like we may reach a point when StarDuck has to just go all in. I don't know if he's going to be able to out macro once Ranger gets his gold base up.
Yeah, I think that point is coming very, very soon.
Ooh. Never mind.
Yeah, fourth base here, but in a very... Yeah, trying to get a fourth base there, but again, what's a fourth base versus a fourth gold base?
Yeah. What I will say is that, you know, with 3 Archons, StarDuck can still hold here at the third, right? Like, there's still there's a lot of army supply here in charge lots for Ranger. So I don't think StarDuck's in the worst place right now.
Yeah, he can definitely get a couple of volleys off on top of that. Make sure to utilize the splash damage of Archons. He's actually splitting up his army very well to get a bit of a concave later on. Oh no. His fourth base is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, StarDuck has to be careful here because he's moving his entire army to defend, and that's going to be the cue for Ranger to push in.
Just like so. StarDuck is kind of aware of that though. does want to be a little bit careful, but so does Ranger. StarDuck currently has twice the amount of Archons, and Ranger does not want to go into that.
Exactly. Ranger already losing every single one of his zealots. Like, everything goes down, and Ranger forced to recall.
Moves the Archon. Not quite, but he does rush to seek into the natural base with his zealots, gets a couple of probe kills, and most importantly, cancels that 4th base.
Yeah, exactly, but StarDuck, he doesn't even care, mate. He's just sending it across the map. He's looking to try and end the game, and right now, there's not that much buffer for Ranger's army. He's trying to warp in a couple more zealots at home, but unfortunately, he used a lot of warp ins across the map.
Yeah, just doesn't quite have the production on his side. Meanwhile, StarDuck has been able to equalize the probe damage. And we're in a pretty good position for StarDuck if he decides to pull away, but I don't think he needs to. Look at that army supply difference. Like, StarDuck somehow has brought himself from the brink of death.
Well, it's one of those things where, yeah, like Ranger, he invested in a 4th base, he probed up, he made more workers, he was working on his upgrades. Mates, GG, well played. StarDuck takes the series.
Those dots right at the start. Ranger knew he had this in the bag, but just got a little too greedy. GG, well played. StarDuck, a first finalist. Very well played.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even though, like, fun fact, Ranger was about to finish up +3 at the end there. Like, he was working on his upgrades. Like, I believe he had a Templar Archives on the way as well. Like, or sorry, it was done, but he was working on even more upgrades. He was working on his economy, working on harassing. His War Prism went across the map as well. But mate, you know, he just didn't really have an army because of all of that. And StarDuck, he just sent it across the map, mate. He just went all in.
Everything, Scott. I guess that shows you the power of Archons and splash damage when your opponent's going that zealot heavy.
Yeah.
Because I'm just looking at the stream right now, the supplies are just about equal, then all of a sudden, all those zealots from Ranger get wiped out, and every other unit gets that much more vulnerable.
Yeah, it's one of those things where both players were being very careful with how they controlled their army, but like, if you allow your zealots to just like A-move and charge forward without anything else, and if they all go, like, get taken out, that's your buffer, right, for your main army. And with them gone, then the Archons, they can start focusing on the Stalkers and your own Archons as well. Like, StarDuck suddenly, like, everything swung in his favor after that little engagement in the middle of the map.
Yeah, Protoss units aren't quite like, say, Roaches or Marines, where they themselves are the buffer. The Zealots are the only buffer you can really get as a Protoss player. Well, not entirely true.